Over the course of 3 seasons, the Houston Astros at the MLB implemented a process to steal opposing pitcher signs and use the illegally obtained information to increase their probability of winning. The team also signed a player with a history of domestic violence. Understanding the impact of these cases will be crucial in developing a course of action to resolve the unethical leadership atop the organization. By justifying past actions and assisting the franchise moving forward, the MLB can properly resolve the broken road that the Astros have traveled on. In recent years, the Astros have been the poster child of a professional sports team. The team has been active in the community by donating time and resources to hurricane relief in the Houston area, won a World Series title, 2 American League titles, and have done all of this while having minimal star power. Simply put, the Astros were the team that everyone was striving to be and had the respect of the entire MLB and its fans for being able to be so successful. But like the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. Recently, the Houston Astros were caught stealing signs from opposing pitchers, which gave the Astros an illegal upper hand when at the plate. The sign-stealing scandal dated back to 2017 when the Astros won their World Series, and Jose Altuve, who is an Astros second baseman, won the American League MVP. The scandal stretched into 2018 when the club managed to make it to the American League Championship and won 103 games, the second highest mark in the MLB that year. In baseball, pitchers and catchers relay signs to understand what pitch will be thrown before a pitcher even winds up. To steal this sign, which is against MLB rules, a team must use video to study the signs, relay that information back to the dugout, and then relay the sign to the batter. The Astros would relay the sign of an off-speed pitch by banging on the trash cans in the team's dugout. By stealing a pitcher's sign, a batter can understand what pitch is coming their way, which allows them to decide to be aggressive or lay off before the pitcher even winds up. In addition to creating a competitive advantage, sign stealing also has a financial benefit. To put into perspective how impactful sign stealing is, baseball analyst Tom Verducci went back and analyzed every off-speed pitch that Clayton Kershaw threw in Game 5 of the 2017 World Series. Kershaw, who is one of the best pitchers to ever throw a baseball and will undoubtedly be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, threw 39 off-speed pitches in that game. Of the 39, the Houston Astros swung and missed on just one. As a pitcher, throwing with velocity is required as a faceball is the most basic function at that position. With that being said, off-speed pitches are where the pitching battle is really won and where baseball games turn into chess matches between pitchers and batters. By understanding when Clayton Kershaw was going to throw his best baseball, the Astros had an unmeasurable competitive advantage in a game that they would go on to win by just 1 run. If the Astros were to have lost this game, the Dodgers would have won the series in 6 games. Instead, the Astros would go on to take the series to 7 games and win it all. Prior to assessing MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred's punishment to the Astros for violating MLB conduct, it is necessary to analyze how the commissioner has handled similar cases in the past. In 2017, the Boston Red Sox implemented a 6-step scheme to steal pitching signs against the New York Yankees to advance their lead in the Eastern Division of the American League. After discovering this, the Yankees took the issue to the MLB Commissioner Office to report the offense. After investigation, Commissioner Manfred found that the Boston Red Sox did indeed violate a league rule of using digital devices to steal signs. Manfred fined the Red Sox an undisclosed amount and stated that any team to violate the rule in the future would receive harsher punishment. In addition to implementing a sign-stealing scandal, the Astros also displayed unethical behavior by signing a player with history of domestic violence. Roberto Osuna, a world-class baseball pitcher, was signed by the Astros in 2019 after serving a 75-game suspension for domestic abuse. Many MLB teams wanted to sign the player due to his talent, but it is unethical to reward someone with a history of domestic violence, so many teams passed up on the young talent. The exception to this being the Houston Astros, of course. Similar to Osuna, Ray Rice was also suspended for his involvement with domestic violence in 2014 regarding a case with his wife. After appeal, the NFL reinstated Ray Rice as a free agent to the league. Also like Osuna, Ray Rice was a quality player that would have helped any team in the NFL win. Due to his lack of having a moral compass, no team in the NFL signed the running back. In my eyes, this is how the case with Osuna would have been if the Astros had not picked him up. Instead, the Houston Astros are currently paying someone that has no problem with battering women, which is quite disgusting. The impact of unethical leadership is incredibly felt. One large factor comes in opponent frustration. After hearing forced apologies given by Astros players, Cody Bellinger of the Los Angeles Dodgers offered his insight on the case. I thought Manfred's punishment was weak. These guys were cheating for 3 years. Altuve stole an MVP from Aaron Judge in 2017. Everyone knows they stole the ring from us. Bellinger was on the 2017 Dodgers team that lost to the Astros in the World Series. To rub salt in the wound of these players, Astros owner Jim Crane stated in a press conference that, "Our opinion is this did impact the game. We have a good team. We won the World Series and we'll leave it at that." By Jim Crane stating this, he is simply disregarding the unethical behavior in which he as a leader condoned, although he claims to have no knowledge of the scandal. Additionally, unethical leadership provides public relation nightmares. After Osuna had won the pitching duel in a crucial playoff series over the Yankees, Brandon Taubman, who is an assistant general manager of the Astros, made very disgraceful remarks. Taubman came into the locker room and shouted in the direction of 3 female reporters, "Thank God we got Osuna. I'm so explicit glad we got Osuna." Therefore, not only did the Houston Astros put performance over principles, but Brandon Taubman, who is in a leadership role with the team, embraces his presence and rubs salt in the wound to women that cover sports. Frankly, this encounter is disgusting and is something in which Houston Astros fans and owners should be ashamed of. As a result of the investigation by the MLB that found the Houston Astros guilty of sign stealing, Rob Manfred passed down a number of punishments to the Astros organization. Both the general manager and manager of the Houston Astros were suspended by the MLB, later to be fired by the Astros owner Jim Crane. Additionally, the Astros were fined the allowable league maximum, and their first and second round draft picks of both the 2020 and 2021 drafts have been vacated. Although these fines and penalties may seem like enough to deter teams in the future away from cheating, this punishment is viewed as a slap on the wrist for their offense, and absolutely not a harsher punishment than the one passed down to the Red Sox in 2017. A primary reason these punishments are looked at as weak is because of the impact this scandal had on the game with the amount of success the Astros had at the time. In order to correct Manfred's course of action, there are 3 proposed plans of action that can be coupled with the commissioner's consequences. To implement a plan moving forward, options A through C will be assessed. Option A includes revoking the team's World Series title along with Jose Altuve's American League MVP award. These are 2 things that have never been done before, but offer justice for the Astros' action. Option B seeks to suspend all operations for the 2020 regular and postseasons. This option has only been done in European football leagues and would be hectic due to scheduling. Option C proposes a 5-year probation in which the Astros are evaluated in all aspects of operation with an MLB ethics oversight committee. Again, these actions are not replacing Manfred's, but rather coupling them. Moving forward, options A and C were selected. In order to execute these options, Manfred's original suspension of A.J. Hinch and Jeff Lunhow will prove to be beneficial. Lunhow and Hinch were the manager and general manager that had served suspension. Both of these figures, who operated in management positions, were later terminated by Jim Crane for their involvement in the sign-stealing scandal. As part of the course of action moving forward, the first order of business will be constructing a hiring committee comprised of MLB and Astros executives to fill these roles. Although the Astros will not get to select directly who they would like to put in these positions, the franchise's management will have some say by working alongside MLB officials. Additionally, players that were involved in the scandal will have monthly meetings with the Oversight Committee to discuss the incident, assess how the situation could have been avoided, and detailed plans moving forward. Providing a mandatory meeting, which will be used as an educational tool as well, will be beneficial for players to understand the significance of the scandal in which they assisted. Another large role the Oversight Committee will play will be day-to-day and game operations. This course of action calls for at least one representative from the Oversight Committee to attend all organized Houston Astros events. Because of this, any potential unethical information or operations will be properly recorded and reported, but most likely will not take place at all. The Oversight Committee will exist within the Astros organization for 5 seasons, with less control over time. Also, the Houston Astros organization will be responsible for financially providing monetary reward to those on the committee. Ultimately, this course of action combined with option A and Manfred's original consequences will prove to be effective. This course of action is appropriate for a number of reasons. First, the Astros directly altered the course of MLB history. Additionally, in a study conducted by an MLB statistician, it was found the average economic difference between a win and a loss in the MLB is $1.2 million. Therefore, the Astros gained a hefty financial reward for their actions as well. The Oversight Committee will serve as a tool to the Astros moving forward and could prevent the cases such as Roberto Osuna's from ever happening again. The proposed course of action is very justifiable and makes complete sense. Clearly, the past 4 years of the Houston Astros are not what they have seemed. Although on the field the team has had success, the opposite couldn't be more true for what is happening in the team's clubhouse. Between the team's sign-stealing scandal and domestic violence with players, there is clearly a need for change in both leadership and culture within the organization. I have no doubt that by addressing the unethical leadership and applying the proposed solutions based off of organizational behavior, that the Houston Astros will one day find themselves successful again, both on the field and in ethical standards as well.